During the winter months, when it's freezing outside, with a brisk chill in the air, and there's a limited amount of sunlight, it can be really hard to find the motivation to leave the house. Personally speaking, birdwatching is my excuse to leave the house. It's what motivates me to walk through the woods and hike through the hills. And if I can get a decent photo along the way, then that's just a bonus. Today, I ventured to a new location for myself, a reservoir, right here in the West Midlands. Now, I wasn't sure what to expect once I arrived. I never do. But ultimately, as long as I'm out in nature, that's all that matters. Something unexpected just happened. So, walking down this little path, and I saw a bird drop down. And it looked like a bird of prey, but I also thought, it could have been a jay. So, got my binos on it, and it turns out it was actually a sparrowhawk. Now, it sat for a second or two before ultimately flying off. And by the looks of it, it actually had a small bird underneath it, so it just caught something, possibly like a blue tit or a great tit. So, not a bad little start for that guy. Not so much of a great start for the other bird, but that's nature for you. This is my first time down Blythefield Reservoir, so I've got a couple of first impressions. So number one, it's a gorgeous area. The reservoir itself is, pristine, and the surrounding area is beautiful. And the fact it's icy and frosty right now really just adds to its charm. Now, if you're a bird photographer, this could be a bit of a difficult location for you. I'm definitely finding it a bit hard right now myself. And I say that because the area is so vast, you definitely need a scope to see most birds, most wildlife. So most animals don't tend to be in sort of photographic range. So this is an absolutely awesome area if you want to come bird spotting. I've seen some really awesome birds like the sparrowhawk, a couple of jays, a couple of buzzards, a pair of goldeneye, but they're never close up. And I know this is quite like a faux pas when it comes to bird photography. You can never have a long enough lens, but if you just want to have a chilled couple of hours, chilled little walk, this is a really, really awesome location. I've quickly stopped off him his hide just for something to eat. But on the path coming down, I had what I think was a warbler, a chiff-chaff to be exact. I think I'm not very good at determining these sort of things, but it was feeding away in a tree, just happy as Larry, showing very, very well. Now, as I was photographing the chiff-chaff, I was distracted by a big bird of prey. Now, I'm not actually 100% of what it is because I mainly saw it as a silhouette. So, yeah, I'm stuck on this one. I'm really stuck on this one. So, given its behaviour, it was flying low across the reeds and actually stopped in the reeds as well. So I was like, okay, maybe it's a marsh harrier. But I couldn't really see its head to, get a positive ID. And judging from its, underwings, its pattern under its wings, I'm still not 100% sure. I've got to go home and check it out. But I'm also thinking, okay, maybe it was a juvenile buzzard, playing it safe. So, I'll whack the video up on screen. Perhaps you can help me out. I'm sure you're all screaming at the top of your lungs right now because you know exactly what it is. But when I got home, I pulled out my Collins Bird Guide book and had a little nosy through the pages. Now, I had a brief idea, I thought it was a harrier of sorts, but I still wasn't 100% sure. So I shared a couple of images with a couple of people who are a lot more knowledgeable than me. And it was ultimately decided that it was actually, in fact, a ringtail hen harrier. Now, this is fantastic for me because it's a lifer. I've never ever seen one before, so I am so glad I decided to come out that frosty morning. I don't think I've ever had such good views of a great white egret before. So I saw it just feeding away on the edge of the grass. Oh God, speaking of feeding, clearly, let's get that flipped. Someone's had his breakfast. Probably a buzzard, but anyway, I saw the great white egret feeding by the grasses. So I got down really low once again and just took a good few shots. Got a bit of video of it, and it's incredible. Just watching it feed, just stalking up and down the side of the grass before ultimately just plunging its beak into the water. Uber cool stuff. And again, I don't think I've ever had such a good view of one up so close. So that was a really cool encounter. So folks, I've given it a good few hours around the reservoir, and I think it is just starting to snow, so I'm going to take that as my cue to leave. Now, I've only explored a very, very small portion of this area, so I definitely have to come back and explore, well, all of the other many banks. Oh my God, it is actually starting to snow. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me once again. So please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.